Hey Midships family, Corey here. Just want to pop in, give you a quick heads up. As a lot of you know, I've been traveling pretty much non-stop for the last 2 or 3 weeks, in and out of airplanes all the time, and there's something I've noticed that's kind of alarming. I've not had a single flight actually be on time in any of my flights recently, and we've been delayed hours and hours, and it just keeps happening. So if you have a cruise plan coming up, make sure you follow the golden rule. Fly in the night before. You don't want to mess with this. I'm seeing upwards of 6-hour delays on some of these flights. The lines are nuts, and everybody's on edge because of it. So take heed, don't miss your cruise. Well, it's a brand new month, and Carnival cruisers might want to pay attention because the cruise line quietly just changed one of their shore excursion policies, and we're going to tell you about it as soon as we roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. And once again, I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I'm here in the Chattanooga, Tennessee Midships studio, and as usual, we've got the show on the road. I had a wedding to get to here last night, and it was such a wonderful time catching up with some of the most amazing people you've ever met. I have some fantastic friends here. But you didn't come here to hear about that. You came here for cruise news and probably the question of the day, right? And I've got it for you. When you take a cruise, how do you get to port? Do you drive or do you fly? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm actually kind of genuinely curious about this one because depending on your answers, it's going to dictate probably some of the additional content I make here on the channel going forward. So please, if you've never answered the question of the day, give me a second of your time, scroll down there, and while you're clicking around, give the answer. And you know that little thumbs up button? It looks kind of like this. Yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you tapped on that one as well. Now, let's get into the cruise news of the day. And the big story, it's kind of a secret. It's all hush-hush coming out of Carnival Cruise Line. But some keen-eyed individuals noticed that as of a day or two ago, the shore excursions and destination requirements for unvaccinated guests on Carnival's website has seen some changes. Now, the cruise line didn't come out and make any announcements. John Heel didn't say anything on his Facebook page or post about it. So it's sort of just like a you have to know what you're looking for thing, otherwise you'd probably just miss it. Now, you might have heard the term unvaccinated, and if you're not familiar with how some of the cruise protocols are working right now in this day and age, basically, unvaccinated cruisers almost exclusively make up children aged 11 or under. Now, there are exceptions, but for the most part, that's what we're talking about here. Now, it's been the policy for basically the whole resumption of cruising for Carnival and most lines to only let unvaccinated kids off the ship for shore excursions if they take a Carnival purchased cruise excursion, port excursion. So they have to go either buy it on carnival.com before their cruise, or they have to go to the shore excursion desk on the ship to be able to get those unvaccinated kids off. Now, there is some leniency to this policy because once you get off the ship, you take the tour and the tour ends, the guests, while they're off, the cruise line says, yeah, you should come back on board the ship, but you didn't really have to. So in theory, an unvaccinated kid could go with their parents after their excursion, and the parents could go take them shopping in the port, or they could go to Effie Jewelry, or they could go to Senior Frogs and eat. So there was some leniency in the port area before you got back on the ship. Well, fast forward to the beginning of April, and now Carnival's policy for unvaccinated kids aged 11 and under states that those individuals are no longer required to purchase a Carnival-specific shore excursion to be allowed ashore with, and this is a with, they have to go with a vaccinated parent or guardian, but they can now get off no matter what. Now, I hope you listen carefully because nowhere in this reporting did I mention anything about unvaccinated adults or, for that matter, anybody over the age of 11. It still does appear anyone 12 and up still has to have a Carnival approved or Carnival purchased shore excursion to be allowed to leave in port. Unless you're going to a private island, right? Like Princess Key or Half Moon Cay, you don't need to be vaccinated to go to those places. And also don't forget, there's going to be ports that just simply won't have anything to do with any unvaccinated traveler, especially those in that 12 and older category. Places like San Juan, Costa Rica, Grand Turk, Bermuda, St. Kitts, Tortola, they all have policies of keeping people on board ships if they're over 12 and unvaccinated. Having cruised many times now, almost 10 since the resumption of cruising, I can tell you, I've talked with a lot of parents that have young children who were, quite frankly, really frustrated at the experience of booking and taking shore excursions, especially due to the inflexibility coming from the cruise line. So, parents of young children, your cruise experience just got a little bit easier and probably better with Carnival Cruise Line. And since we're talking about Carnival Cruise Line, did you know I have a group cruise planned with them? We're leaving October 24th of this year on the beautiful Carnival Sunshine. We're taking a cruise out of Charleston, South Carolina, and I want you to come along with me. If you'd like more information, how you can get on board, there is a Facebook group. My travel partner, Kelly Paul, has set it up. All you have to do is find the link in the description below this video. It's down there. It's the very top one. I promise it's easy to find. While you're down there clicking around, you can also find links to some really great resources for cruise essentials I take with me on every cruise. It's my Amazon store. And also, if you want some really nice Midships merch, like with my logo or some awesome custom cruise design t-shirts, you can check it out down there in the links below. And thank you so much for checking it out. It really does help me continue to cruise and to deliver the cruise news. Now, how many of you out there have booked a flight in the last 2 weeks or so? I can tell you I've booked 4 of them now, and the prices are ridiculous. They're jaw-dropping. Flights that would normally cost me less than $100 or $50 now cost 2, 3, 4, upwards of 8 times that. Literally, there's a flight that I take that usually costs between $30 and $50 that I saw for $798. It's crazy. It's jaw-droppingly crazy. And all that to say that while cruising still right now seems to be one of the best values in travel, I would definitely start to get ready to reach a little bit deeper into your bank account or into your pocketbook for your next cruise. Now, especially in 2022 and 2023. And don't forget, this is an industry that was fully shut down for 2 years. No income whatsoever, all while having to maintain ships, maintain crew on those ships, people to help cancel and rebook reservations. They still had to pay all these bills while posting major losses quarter after quarter. And that means you've really got the perfect storm of prices are probably going to need to go up. You have companies operating at major losses, and you have rising prices in literally every sector that will support cruising, be it food, be it fuel, be it staffing, all of it it's getting prohibitively expensive right now. But there is a little bit of a silver lining here, and that's that on some recent earnings calls that we've heard from cruise CEOs, at least for Carnival and Royal, for instance, Carnival says their profitability is up 7.5% per guest on board versus 2019 for the same time frame. And Royal says they're up 10%. And all of these cruise lines are attributing this to more and more onboard spending. But let's bring this back to my thoughts and opinions on any potential price increases that we might see in the coming weeks or months for cruising. And I would expect them to not be huge, but you're probably going to see a fuel surcharge, maybe $10 per person or per cabin per day. We already know that some lines are already doing that. Hello, Norwegian. Hello, was it Seven Seas? I forget. It's one of them. So our next cruise news story is once again coming from Norwegian Cruise Line. You know, they've had a lot of trouble over the last few weeks, having a ship run aground, having ships with propulsion issues, canceling a bunch of cruises. Well, there's another problem for Norwegian. It's called the Dawn. She recently had to cancel a port stop and go home early to Tampa because of unexpected mechanical issues. So, like usual, the cruise line won't let us know what's going on. It's really not my place to speculate without having some type of idea of something that maybe occurred in the past with the vessel. We really don't know. But if you want to know more about this story of the Norwegian Dawn, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Okay, we need to take our attention back to Carnival Cruise Line. A lot of you know they're having their 50th birthday celebration this year, and they've had their celebration cruises, which were overshadowed by the fact that the largest cruise ship ever built by humans launched and sailed for the first time during that week, the Wonder of the Seas. However, if you're a Carnival cruiser and if you like to collect cool cruise memorabilia, I'd encourage you to check out this website, shop.carnival.com, because right now you can purchase all kinds of cool 50th birthday celebration merchandise on that webpage. It's like a rolling sale, so what's there today won't be there tomorrow. Things like Carnival Monopoly. You can actually buy pieces from the original Mardi Gras or the original Carnival celebration. Some really cool stuff on that webpage. I'd encourage you to check it out if you're like a collector of cruise things, like I might be all of a sudden. So if you made it this far into today's episode, make sure you subscribe to this channel with the notification bell turned on. I've got a cruise announcement to make in the coming few days or weeks, and you probably don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today, and until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. La 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 la.
la 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 la.